Can everyone hear me okay? Someone said to ask if you can hear me okay. The Office of Research and Technology Applications, the Order Office. These locations are located all across the Air Force. There are technology integrators at each of these locations across the Air Force, and each one of them plays a major role. For example, at Wright-Patterson, you have engagement with our Air Force Research Laboratory and our Air Force Material Command and Lifecycle Management Center right here at AFWERX, as well as our research institutions such as the Air Force Institute of Technology. They are our tech scouts. They are there to help you engage with organizations. They have events and colliders and networking events for you to engage with those networking organizations. Our Air Force Partnership Intermediaries are located across the United States. Right here at Wright-Patterson, we have the Wright Brothers Institute. Down in Florida, there's the Doolittle Institute, where they focus a lot in munitions and weapon systems because they're all located right outside of an Air Force base, and they apply it to the Air Force base that they're located next to. And so they are the first stop in order to really engage and integrate with our technical force as well as our acquisition force. So really engage and get a chance to understand what those organizations are doing. They are nonprofit organizations, and so they're there to help. They are engaged in what's called a corporate research and development agreement with the Air Force to do just that, to engage with industry and engage with the government and to connect those dots. They have events that take place throughout the year. We call them typically collider events or technical interchange meetings or technical interchange events, and those are the events. Pick the ones that are closest to you, or pick the ones that are closest to the technical area or capability area that you're most interested in engaging with those government. The great thing is our government and our acquisitions team, they fully engage with our partnership intermediaries, and they fully take advantage of what the resources that they have to offer. So if you're looking to engage with industry, it's best to meet them in person, get a chance to know them, so when you do send that follow-up email, they're expecting it, and it's a good reminder and reoccurrence. So some of the events that we have coming up, for example, our Air Force Lifecycle Industry Days. The Air Force Lifecycle Industry Days is going to take place from 15th through the 19th of June 2020. Also attached to that event, there will be another Air Force Pitch Day. It's called Pitch Dayton. So the great thing about that event, it brings out a lot of heavy hitters from our PEOs. Not only will you get a chance to see some of the acquisition capabilities there, it brings in our COCOMs, it brings in all of the MAGCOMs from across the Air Force to engage in one location at that event. They also offer matchmaking and one-on-one sessions at those events for you to sign up to really engage with those folks. We have small business specialists that are engaged with and want to work with you to make sure that they're putting you in front of the people that need to be put in front of. Another great event that's coming up, which is really tied to the Air Force Research Laboratory, is the Wright Dialogue with Industry. The Wright Dialogue with Industry is July 21st through the 23rd in Dayton, at the Dayton Convention Center in Dayton, Ohio. So you can save the date and just start to get registered for that as well. The agenda will start to come out. You'll get a chance to also sign up for one-on-ones and matchmaking sessions. And that's where we as the industry, we as the government, we tell you what are our technical needs, what's keeping us up at night. Another great resource to go to is the Defense Innovation Marketplace. So this website is not only just the Air Force, but it's at the Department of Defense level. So once you have a SBIR or STTR technology or Phase 1 or Phase 2, you can shop that Phase 1 or Phase 2 around to all of the agencies. I mean, from the Department of Defense to NIH. And so here we have our several events, for example, Agile Combat Support within our Independent Research and Development Program, coming up in July, as well as in April. And we have our PEO Land Systems and Marine Corps, where we're bringing in the Marine Corps and the and other government partners together. So that if those are areas that you're focused on, we have our strategic interchange meetings with the Air Force for our simulators as well. So if these are all ways that you can engage with the Air Force, the folks that are attending are already looking to engage with you at this event. So it's a very comfortable and relaxed environment to exchange business cards, to exchange the information that you really want to get in front of to interact with our capability leaders. Again, we have our Briefing for Industry. That's another event coming up in August 10th through the 13th in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And we have our IRAD Technology Interchange meetings. Again, that's coming up in those various places. And you can find all of the registration links and all of the information, again, at the Defense Innovation Marketplace there. Another great thing is our Air Warfare Symposium with the Air Force Association. Another place to get some professional development at this event, as well as engage with our capability and technology leaders within the Air Force. One of the things that we're looking at now are the various consortiums and other transactional authorities that are taking place with the OTAs. On our AFRL Small Business Hub, we have a small business toolkit, and we walk you through all of the various consortiums and OTAs that are available. So within these consortiums, that's if there's an area, let's say you're working in medical, chemical, biological, defense areas, you would want to definitely be a part of that medical CBRN defense consortium, because those are the places where those OTAs will be publicized first, and you can really get a good first look at that, as well as identifying the technical experts that are attached to, and the program offices that are attached to that particular area that you're working in. Manufacturing. So within our manufacturing institutes, we have several manufacturing institutes across the country. For example, America Makes, the Advanced Functional Fabrics of America. These are all organizations and institutes that are engaged with industry as well as the government. They're already established partnering organizations, so it's an easy way to get in and align with the folks that you're trying to get your capability in front of. Other examples are various associations. You have your NDIA, you have your Women in Defense associations, AFCEA. Aerotech announces various keynotes and stakeholders, and throughout the year they have a lot of events and collider events for industry and government to come together to meet those events. I have met several organizations, several small businesses at this event who are now doing business with the Air Force. For example, met a small business at one event for a Women in Defense event, and when the opportunity arose, they were on my mind as somebody that could apply resources to what we needed, and so that's that reach back. So you never know when you're networking and meeting with someone that opportunity may arise. So it may not be the opportunity right then and there, but there may be an opportunity in the future for them to reach back to you because you've already met and established that resource. So let's talk about emails and follow-up emails. So not only with your this is just an example of a recent email that I received. So I met a company at a recent conference, the Global Startup Grind Conference, and at the same time I also met with two Air Force sergeants from our sustainment and test centers who said, oh, I met this small business, the technology that they're offering is really good. I really think we need to follow up with that. And so I said, that's great. We really need to get them in front of our technical experts that are working in the field to do that. And so that small business, we set up a conference call, and then from there we're following up on what are the opportunities that they can do. They can go and submit a proposal for a phase 1. now they've already established a connection with someone in the government who is looking for their proposal. That's the number one thing that you're trying to do, is when you're submitting your proposal, you should be somebody out there that's expecting your proposal to come in, right? That's the best place to be in. That's the best advantage that you have to be in. And so after our call, they send a follow-up email and introduction. It's great when someone from the government is actually introducing you to the person that you want them to introduce you to, because you want to get away from the cold call, right, or the cold email. You want an email that's actually going to resonate, that the person is going to connect to, and they have some familiarity in some level. And that's establishing that relationship, right? That's establishing that networking relationship. So that's an example of that. After that email comes through, and then people a lot of times they say, well, do I just send out a bunch of emails and marketing emails? They probably won't get read, but if you send out a marketing email and I've already know who you are, I've already established that relationship with you, I'm probably going to pay more attention to that follow-up marketing email, or even that email when our government folks, and just like you do, I'm sure you get a little sidetracked on your day job and you start getting into something and you kind of forgot to do what you said you were going to do. That follow-up email is great. It's a good reminder of, oh yeah, I definitely want to make sure I connect them with the person. So continuing to follow up is a great thing, especially as you can engage with the government personnel and what type of interaction they want to have with you.